Welcome everybody. I am Dale Bowden and I'm the chairman of the Louisville Regional Airport Authority. Glad you are here. I want to thank some guests we have. Secretary J. Michael Brown from the Governor's Executive Cabinet, Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher, and Andrew Condier is here somewhere, who's the Deputy State Director for Mitch McConnell. And then Dana Mayton from Congressman Yarmouth's office is also here. Councilwoman Nicole George, thank you for coming. And then we've got some Louisville Regional Airport Authority board members, Pat McDonald and Mary Rose Evan are here. Thank you all. And we're glad to be here to kick off some exciting news at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. The good news continues. We've just this year already welcomed 2 new airlines with the addition of Sprint and Breeze. Both began service in May. I think we're celebrating a record high 36 nonstop designations on 8 different airlines. And passenger traffic from 2020 has rebounded. Our numbers are very competitive against 2019, which was the best year ever in the airport's history. And there's one of our favorite tenants taking off or landing. So competitive that this summer the numbers on numerous times were actually at record high single-day levels for travelers. So we've got a lot of good momentum, and we continue to work on improving the customer experience. Not to mention that in 2020, LRA's infrastructure investment tripled. More than $91 million was invested in capital projects and equipment last year in the midst of a global pandemic. This comes following the formal announcement of the SDF Next program, which includes today's news. The SDF Next program will invest $400 million in the airfield and then terminal as part of various improvements to improve the customer experience and ensure that our facilities are prepared for the future. So far, we've already completed multiple projects totaling $60 million under the SDF Next program. These projects include the opening of a new airport's operations center, a new rental car facility. There's direct access and covered walkways between the terminal and parking garage, installation of the Park Assist system in the parking garage, several new parking options, the Premier lot and the Express Shuttle lot, and an introduction of the SDF Rewards parking program. Along those lines, we've got ongoing upgrades to elevators and escalators. We have a new moving walkway in the terminal. And this month we began the replacement of the first of 25 new jet terminal bridges. So we're not slowing down anytime soon, as evidence of today's event. And we're here to celebrate another milestone that will have lasting impact. And I'm pleased to formally begin the Geothermal project at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. And tell us a little bit more about this, I'm going to invite Executive Director Dan Mann up.
Mayor, Secretary Brown, thanks for coming. All the folks out there, especially my crew, can't do it without you all. And you've heard a little bit yesterday about awarding some of this work, but I really want to say thanks to CMTA. I promised I might give them a shout out. Those guys really were instrumental when we started talking about geothermal and the feasibility of it. They came out and did some test wells and said, yes, it's feasible. We're instrumental in the design and really making this happen. And then the other one, I'm kind of out of order here. I wanted to thank everybody last, but it's so important and this is such a big deal for us that I really want to give credit to the folks that made it happen. CMTA, your design, your feasibility. And then on my Senior Vice President of Operations and Maintenance, Brian Sinwell here, which he'll be up there digging a hole with us a little bit later. But Brian was a relentless bulldog on this VAIL grant. For those that don't know, VAIL grant is Voluntary Airport Low Emissions Program. It's a FAA program to help the environment. And, you know, we're out here doing a lot of things for economic development, planes coming and going, but we still care about the environment. And this is something Brian's cared about for a long, long time. And we would not have been the recipient of this $10.6 million VAIL grant without Brian continuing to persist and work on it. So great design, great feasibility. We got the grant that's going to make this all feasible, and so just thanks to you guys first and foremost. Okay, so SDF Next, $400 million program to make this terminal the best and proudest gateway for folks coming to and from Louisville. I always like being up in the terminal when people get off the airplane and they say, wow, this is great. Well, when we finish this $400 million terminal improvement program, they're really going to be impressed. And I think everybody, whether you fly or don't fly, if you're a resident of Louisville, you're going to say, we are glad that this gateway's here to make the first impression for people that want to come here and do vacation, enjoy bourbon, or start a business. This geothermal project is going to be a part of that. It really is a cornerstone of the next phase of the terminal program. This geothermal project is overall $21 million, 10.6 of it covered by the Vail grant. I think there's a couple key takeaways though. 747 behind us. A couple key takeaways of this. First, it's the largest geothermal project of its kind at any airport in the United States. So again, when you think about what Louisville is, there's things we can be proud of. Largest geothermal, fifth busiest cargo airport in the world, fifth busiest cargo airport in the world. So these things are things that we maybe take advantage of when we're in Louisville or take for granted, but it's something that we should all be proud of. So again, largest of its kind. It reduces our carbon footprint by 80%. When I read that on paper, I'm like, carbon footprint by 80%. That is just absolutely amazing. That's how efficient these geothermal projects are, and one of this size and magnitude is absolutely amazing. The other part is we've all talked about the coronavirus and clean air and all that, and it's a priority for everybody as we move forward. You hear a lot about it in the school systems. It's important for airports and airport terminals as well. This system, when it's finished, will improve the air quality, the air circulation for our customers that are in the airport terminal. So we have the added benefit of a more environmentally friendly and comfortable airport terminal. And then the last part, for those that are budget conscious like myself, it saves $400,000 a year in my utility bill, $400,000. So good for the environment and good for the budget. I mean, it's a win-win. So we're very, very excited about this geothermal project. A couple details about it. This area where we're at now, we're going to have 648 wells. They're 500 feet deep. And the way this works and the reason it's so efficient is it circulates water into the ground, which has this natural cooling and heating ability. So it's super energy efficient. Again, reduces our energy consumption by 40%. So it's an amazingly efficient system, which will go a long way to making our terminal more efficient and more comfortable. The last part of this, final benefit is, and again, we think about the environmental and the cost reduction, but the other part is during certain events like Kentucky Derby, we run out of parking spots. This field is designed so it will have 9 acres of concrete parking for Kentucky Derby. During peak season, when UPS is coming and going like crazy, they need extra parking. It'll be available for that. And the way we are growing air service, hopefully someday we'll need to park extra air carriers out here. So we're really moving forward with the future growth of the airport. So all really good news with this geothermal project. That's really it for my canned remarks. I really want to now thank Secretary Brown for being here and come up and give some remarks. This is welcome home for Secretary Brown. He was the former board chair of the airport. I just learned today he was here 20 years ago during 9/11, so he's very familiar with us. And as we all know, a lot has changed in 20 years, and I'm not sure 20 years ago we were really thinking about geothermal and the environment, but we are today, and we're glad to be focusing on this and not other things. So, Secretary Brown, thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Dale and Dan. Don't say that quickly, too repetitively. You can get it mixed up. I am grateful that I had the opportunity to step in for Governor Andy Beshear at this particular event because it really is somewhat of a homecoming. The airport has been on my mind all last week when 9/11 happened because I was chair of the airport authority on 9/11, and many people don't remember that when that happened, there was a transportation conference in Canada. And almost all of the airport staff, including my executive director and everybody, was trapped across the border. And that day, the FAA ordered all aircraft grounded, and we had aircraft from all over the country, not intending to come here. And we had guests in the terminal and guests in the hotels, and everybody kept saying, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And I gave my considered answer of I don't know, thousands of times. But we got through that, and we got through that together, and now we're about to get through our next big challenge globally, and nationally, which is COVID, which we're working on getting through together. But here in Louisville, and now at the Muhammad Ali International Airport, we see what vision can really do. And you've heard all the numbers about the geothermal thing and money it's going to save, and it's going to work on the environment, it's going to work on the health of the people in our terminal, it's going to save bucks. And that's all great, but it's still the continuation of the vision that has created this most important part of the most important economic engine in our state, which is Louisville right now. UPS here, with those two parallel runways that can now take planes from here all the way across the world fully loaded, that's a super important thing. We have the Air National Guard across the way, which is one of the great military organizations that we have in our nation, and they're going worldwide serving international missions. And we are now going to have an even better terminal that's going to support the tremendous economic development that Kentucky is on the verge of. And it all comes about because of vision. And sometimes we take it, as he said, for granted because we live here. And it's just like, oh, well, let's just go to the airport. Let's see if we can get a flight. Well, now you can get flights to lots of different places. But now with this project and with other projects that are going to be on the radar of the nation, of the nation's businesses, you will see that Louisville, Jefferson County, and Kentucky will become a major destination for economic growth in this country. I know it sounds, it's hard to believe sometimes when you stand here. 20 years ago, we were trying to figure out LAIP and how we were going to get different things built and how we're going to deal with in old factories that were on their property. Now we're one of the largest project of its kind in the country right here. And we have a cargo airport, one of the largest in the world, right here. And we're going to have the best terminal in the world right here. So never sell Kentuckians, Louisvillians short on what vision and determination can bring about. And I just want to congratulate the Airport Authority and all the work that's taken place in the past 20 years since I was here. And thank you again for inviting me.
Thank you, everybody, and good morning. It's great to be standing out here in the middle of a field, having a big announcement, and it's wonderful to see this happening at Muhammad Ali International Airport, making a statement about clean and sustainable energy and painting a bigger picture for our entire Commonwealth and our city as well, all the efforts that we've got going on with sustainability. As we know, this geothermal project right here is good for the environment, it's good for people, it's good for business as well. It's not an either or. Is it good for business or it's good for the environment? It's a both and these days, and we're really appreciative of that. It's also appropriate to talking about this kind of winning at a place named for a man who epitomized winning on the world stage and who connected to people all over the globe on the most human of all levels, just like airports do, and that, of course, is the greatest of all time, our native son, Muhammad Ali. And one of the things that made Ali the greatest, that raised his game, his aim, and his fame, was his understanding of what it takes to make a champion. And as he said, a dream, a desire, a vision, all springing from a well deep inside. That dream, desire, and vision prescription for champions is true for airports and for cities too. So we stand here this morning on the site of a future well field where 648 wells drilled 500 feet deep will be outfitted with water-filled pipes that will use the Earth's temperature both to cool and heat the terminal right over there on our horizon. So it's a really beautiful thing, the most elegant of solutions to use the Earth to save the Earth. Solar, wind, and geothermal all provide cost-effective energy without the greenhouse gases and other air pollutants that result from fossil fuels, thus improving public health and energy security as well. And this doesn't just happen, installing a geothermal system that will be the largest of any airport in the United States. It's happening here because the team here first had the dream, the desire and the vision to choose to save energy and money, to cut carbon emissions, improve air quality, and do the right thing. And now they will. One of the things I love about our team here at the airport, Dan, Brian, the whole team, is I say these guys and gals are yes people. When there's a challenge or an opportunity presented, they'll say, yes, we'll figure that out. And too often people are no. You know, it's like, well, that's a pain. We haven't done that before. We don't know if we can do that. So I really want to salute the culture here of the team, Dan, at the airport, and everybody that you all have built together to do incredible things like this that will give us international notoriety. When you think beyond the airport, green energy initiatives just don't happen in cities as well. We formed the Office of Sustainability 9 years ago in my office, and we've achieved a lot in terms of protecting the environment, significantly reducing our carbon footprint, developing strategies to manage urban warming, combining social justice program with environmental mindfulness, and making a pledge for 100% clean energy for Louisville by 2040. So we are very committed to leaving the world a better place for our kids and grandkids, a cleaner place, and because of this project, we're leading by example as true champions of environmental sustainability. And I couldn't be more excited to celebrate this moment at the airport named after the greatest champ, Muhammad Ali. And so big congratulations to the forward-thinking and acting people at Muhammad Ali Airport, dreaming and delivering big, reaping even greater rewards. So again, thanks to the entire team. As Muhammad Ali, whose name graces this airport, once said, the man who has no imagination has no wings. So we got plenty of that to go around right here in a field that will become a clean and cost-effective generator without harming the earth, and we take off for that tomorrow, today. So congratulations and great job to everybody.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an important project, and the sustainability initiative that we're embarking on here will shine a positive light on Louisville and our airport. I want to thank everybody for being here and helping us celebrate what will be the largest geothermal project at any airport in the United States. And this is an accomplishment that's attributable to Dan and his team, the state and our city and the board. And so thank you all for being here, and I'd like to invite our speakers along with Mr. Sindwell to join us in a photo with some special shovels and hard hats.
On 1, 2, 3.